Hello everybody. About 4 months ago, we moved into our first home and I finally got my own room again. I was able to transform this detached garage into my own game room and studio. It went from this to this. In doing this work, I've been inspired to create a video to show this space with all of you and to create a little time capsule for myself. It's the first time in my life that I have a truly dedicated space for my work and play. I can produce anything or play anything with just the press of a few buttons now. I've come a long way from a tiny CRT at the foot of my bed.
First up, let's start with the most temporary part of the space, the game storage. I've got no real shelving out here yet, so I've turned this workbench into a home for all my games. They were originally stored in totes, but I got tired of digging around to grab a game I needed. Now they're at least accessible. It's not the prettiest sight, but it's semi-functional. We've got it segmented by Nintendo and Sony. Sorry, Xbox, you're out on your own little island. The games are organized by console, and then within each console library, I have my own organization system. I know where each game should be in the lineup, making grabbing exactly what I want a breeze. It just may not be so for someone else, but that rarely happens. Beneath the workbench, I just have my printer, an empty tote as a shelf, and a box of video and power cables. Nothing too exciting. To the right, I have a tool chest that I've packed with cables and gear. Anything I need to record or power up can be found in these drawers. And now on to the main event. This is where I play my games. Everything is stored on a couple of IKEA Kallaxes. The bottom row is doors and drawers, while the second row is all of my HD consoles. Let's work our way up. A pair of drawers flanks both ends of the row. These are just for storage. I've got my Xbox Elite version 1 controller, my Death Stranding DualShock 4, and my Skyward Sword Wii remote here on the left. The DualShock is paired to my PS TV, and beneath that drawer is just filled with Rock Band dongles and a microphone. Also, my Vita is hiding out in here, inside its poofy little case. Behind door number 1 is my Quest 2 headset and my VR wipes. I bought these back when the PSVR launched, so they've served me pretty well. Door number 2 is home to spare GameCube controllers, my DK bongos, and the Wii U GameCube adapter. And door number 3 is where my PSVR 2 calls home. Now that I actually have room for it, I really need to get back to playing it. The other set of drawers is home to spare controllers and accessories. I've got the N64 Rumble Pack, memory cards, cartridge reader, the PS2 multitap, and more. It's a little slice of controller heaven. Back on the left-hand side, I've got my Xbox Island with my Series X. Next door is the Sony Pony stable with my Last of Us Part 2 PS4 Pro, my PS TV, and my PS3. Right now, the PSVR 1 processor box is just there for show, since my model doesn't pass through HDR from the PS4 Pro. Then we have the GameCubes. I recently upgraded my North American GameCube with a GC loader and a new fan. The one further back is my Japanese GameCube. It doesn't get used too much, so I slid it back to give my Spice Orange system room for airflow. In the next cube, I have one of my Switch OLEDs and my Wind Waker Wii U. It's nice to see the Zelda gold accents all together. Our final slot is somewhat of a hodgepodge of stuff. I've got my Mr. FPGA system in front of an 8-port Ethernet switch with the RetroTink 5X Pro next to that. There's some extra space for temporarily stashing controllers, cables, or anything else I might need. But where's my PS5? Well, it's too tall to fit in the Kallax, so it's hiding out behind the TV. I may swap sides with it though once I do get a RetroTink 4K though. Speaking of 4K, I'm rocking a 55-inch LG C1 OLED TV. It's absolutely gorgeous and supports all the fancy new video features like black frame insertion, VRR, and 120 Hz. My sound system is just a simple 2.1 channel soundbar with wireless subwoofer. It gets the job done for now until I can focus on a proper sound system someday. To the left of my television are my two capture cards, the Elgato HD60X and the 4K60S Plus. I've got the HD60X connected to my iMac via a 20-foot USB-C cable. I've got plans drawn up for allowing simultaneous capture to both devices so I could have pure gameplay captured on the 4K60 and then stream with the HD60X, but I haven't implemented those plans yet. Back in the Kallax, next to those capture cards, I've got a box filled with more controllers. It's mostly been emptied onto the controller cart, but I don't have enough room for all of them. Above that, I've got most of my handhelds. I'd love to get stands for all of my consoles like I have for the Game Boy Micro, but that will have to be a purchase way down the line. And up top, I've got an 8BitDo arcade stick that I use with my Mister for the arcade cores. Moving on down toward analog heaven, let's stop at the latest addition into the setup. The Extron Crosspoint Matrix Switch acts as a bridge between the analog and digital world. This bad boy lets me take almost all of my analog consoles and simultaneously output the picture to my OLED TV and my CRT. It's straight up magic. It's not all set up yet as of this recording. I'm waiting on an S-Video to BNC adapter, but when that arrives, I'll have 6 consoles connected at once. My NES that my in-laws just gave me only has RF output, but I still love finally having a real NES around. My Super NES is connected via HD Retrovision component cables. I haven't modded the SNES for sharper one-chip-like performance, but the component cables are leagues better than composite video. My N64 is what I need the S-Video adapter for. Then we've got the GameCube and Wii hooked up with official Wii component cables and another pair of HD Retrovision cables. Same goes for the PS2 down below. My PS1 and 3DO are hooked up via composite, but those could be upgraded down the line if I want to. Between the Mister and the PS2, I feel okay leaving my PS1 with composite for now. And thanks to the Extron, all of these consoles get to output to both TVs. There's no more hot swapping cables and trying to remember which component cable goes to which console. My setup is finally streamlined. There is one cubby beneath my CRT that stashes some extra consoles as well as a tangle of controller adapters. I certainly love playing with my original controllers. And speaking of my CRT, I've been rocking the Sony Trinitron KV27 FS12 for over a decade now. It's in desperate need of a proper calibration, but it still gives the warm, fuzzy glow that classic games were meant for. I've fought to keep this tube TV around for a long time, and it feels good to finally give it a proper place in the home. Between the analog heaven and my desk is a little cart where I stash most of my controllers. All of the modern USB power pads are up top for easy, clear access. I've routed a few USB-C cables up here for quick charging. The second shelf is where my N64 controllers and GameCube controllers reside, and down below is the home to a slew of DualShocks and SNES gamepads. The NES controllers also hide out down here as well. The rest of the space is really just my desk and storage. Most of the totes are where statues are hiding out until I get shelving in here. My desk is the same layout as last time I gave a tour. I think the only change is these new Zelda-themed desk mats. Plus, my Splatoon 3 Switch OLED hides out on the right-hand side. I've got plenty of art left to hang as well, but I like what I've been able to hang up so far.
Seeing all of this laid out is a really good reminder for how far I've come. I used to long for these consoles and a way to play them. I remember having my mind blown by razor-sharp RGB pixels and wanting to save up for a FrameMeister. I cooked up ways to capture my own gameplay footage from recording this very Trinitron with a Canon PowerShot point-and-shoot camera to my very first capture card that I got for my 19th birthday at an Apple store. Reflecting has been really good for me here, and who knows where I'll be in 10 years when I look back on this setup. I'm excited to find out.